Previously on The Completionist.
俺からの挑戦状だ。トラビス・ストライクス・アゲンのヒーローズ。完全コンプリートしてそのスキルを見せてくれ。君のスキルを証明しろ。
With pleasure. Let's go. True originality is rare, especially in movies, books, and video games. Fortunately, there are those among us who are never content to fit into the status quo. Suda51 is one such individual. With games like Killer 7 and No More Heroes, Suda and his studio, Grasshopper Manufacturer, prove that there are still game makers out there who are willing to buck trends. With his commitment to inspired art direction and interesting design choices, Suda51's games argue that subtlety is overrated. This balls-to-the-wall attitude is on full display in the latest addition to the No More Heroes universe, which is not only a passionate love letter to indie games, but a great game all on its own. What, you thought I was gonna turn Suda51 down? F that shit. It's time to complete Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes.
Here comes a new challenger! Yes! Danger!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Suda51 Super Show, where the only rule is mayhem. Today, I'm breaking my own rules by skipping a remake or remaster and jumping right into the new stuff because some punk-ass developer with a vision decided to come at me after I've conquered No More Heroes on New Game Plus. But now, there's something new in the world, folks, and that's Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. It's on the chopping block, so Suda, you and me, let's go!
おいおいおい、コンプリーショニスト。出だしは悪くないけどさ、ちょっと失礼じゃない？でもね、何度も邪魔されると次回作作れなくなっちゃうよ。
Are you confirming No More Heroes 3 right now? Okay, calm down. No. Sorry, I'm really sorry. It's just I want that so badly, and it's almost as exciting as me understanding your Japanese because I don't even know actually how to read or speak Japanese, but this is all really wild and meta and makes no sense.
もういい？もういいかな？
Yeah, I'm sorry. Suda51, or Goichi Suda, is a singular visionary when it comes to video games. He uses the language of video games to talk about video games within video games, creating meta commentary that is often shocking, hilarious, and grim. He's audacious and irreverent, and extremely comfortable giving the middle finger to his critics. He's a punk rock developer, and Travis Strikes Again demonstrates this attitude. I've been a fan of Suda51 since my days of shilling gold-pitted HDMI cables at Best Buy, and one of my main jobs when I was working for the man was to move as many Nintendo Wii units as was legal, and part of that was enticing longtime gamers who thought they were too mature for the Nintendo Wii. I would sell them on No More Heroes to show that, hey, just because the system has Nintendo Wii Sports on it doesn't mean that you can't also decapitate fools with a beam katana and bathe in their blood. What I'm trying to say is, No More Heroes made an impact on me, and I've been spreading the gospel of Suda ever since. But I'll be honest, I wasn't really planning on playing Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes for the show anytime soon. But you know what? Then the crazy dude reaches out to me out of nowhere to throw down a mean challenge? Ha! I can't freaking resist that. So we're gonna look at this oddity of a game and see if we can even understand it together. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have no problems at all understanding what the hell's happening in this game. Travis Strikes Again is the perfect entry point for anyone who's never been touched by Suda's particular brand of crazy. The plot picks up 7 years after No More Heroes 2, when a drunken, bat-wielding psycho named Badman tracks down retired assassin Travis Touchdown, who's been chilling in his trailer playing video games on a busted old console called the Death Drive Mark II, which may or may not be haunted. And believe it or not, from there, things get bonkers. Turns out that whoever gathers the 6 death balls, which are the cartridges for the console, will be granted any wish their heart desires. Sound familiar? There's a reason for that. Suda51 deliberately makes references and callbacks to classic anime, movies, and of course, video games all throughout Travis Strikes Again. If you've played any of the best indie games from the last 5 to 7 years, you'll probably feel comfortable with the core gameplay elements of Travis Strikes Again. It's a dungeon crawling hack and slash while also being a top-down beat 'em up and occasionally playing like a side-scroller arcade brawler. Okay, I can hear myself now. Yeah, there's a lot happening here. The recipe for Travis Strikes Again. Take the chip-based combat of Transistor, where you can customize your character's combat abilities using the 4 face buttons. Add a sprinkling of the murderous insanity of Danganronpa, where every character is out to get you and is stylish as hell. A heavy injection of the ultra-violence from Hotline Miami, which Travis was actually playing in the first trailer for this game. And if any of that made sense to you, congratulations, you're now ready to play Travis Strikes Again. A game so mercurial that it doesn't stick to a single genre.
そう、本当だよ。今回ね、トラビスが好きそうなゲームをね、たくさん作って、まあそんな世界観の中でトラビスが入って遊ぶ、そんなイメージゲームを作ったんだ。で、トラビスはホットラインマイアミが大ファンで大好きで、1も2もクリアしてて、まあ本当に最高なゲームなんだよね。君はもうプレイしたホットラインマイアミ、ディナントの連中も最高なやつら。絶対プレイしてよ。
Now here's something that Suda51 and I have in common, our passion and love for indie titles. While the gameplay in Travis Strikes Again defies simple explanation, it increases in complexity as it progresses and starts making more and more references to other different indie games. Each section of the game has a very different tone and feel, while the core mechanics generally stay the same. And in true Suda51 fashion, there are awesomely designed boss fights to cap each level. It's amazing how much variety is crammed into the game. Storytelling sections set themselves apart from the more hack and slash main elements of the game, becoming a full-on visual novel. This is a game that has a game console inside it, that in turn allows Travis to play even more games. If you thought Inception was deep, just wait until you get into the meat and potatoes of Travis Strikes Again. This game is a pond that's incredibly wide, but not very deep. This game is not a full-fledged sequel, but more of a side story or a spin-off. There's a ton of stuff to do and worlds to explore, and at first glance, none of it seems all that difficult. Fortunately, this game was built around co-op play, so I won't have to go in alone. I'll be starting off on bitter mode because I'm not a punk, but I'll need a buddy to play it with me. What do you say, Suda? You want to help me kill a bunch of bugs? Fly from Japan all the way to Los Angeles?
は？何言ってんの、コンプショニスト。そっちとさ、こっち何千キロ離れてると思ってんの。そっちにいる誰か雑魚に頼みなよ。
Yeah, fair enough, you crafty son of a bitch. I love Suda's style, but what I love even more is the risks that Grasshopper takes with each game they put out there. Travis Strikes Again is throwing a lot out there, and while not every idea is a winner, there are definitely a couple of touchdowns. Huh? Get it?
クソつまんねえな、コンプショニスト。もっとさ、いいライター雇ってくれよ。
Take the basic structure of the game. It seems streamlined enough. Travis invades 6 different Death Ball games and defeats the boss at the end of each one. However, the Death Ball set is incredibly buggy and screwed up, so the enemies in the Death Ball aren't actually from those games, they're glitches in the system. For most of Travis Strikes Again, the player is hacking and slashing because that's the style of the game that Travis is from. As he jumps from game to game, his style follows. This mostly works, but there are a few areas with completely different mechanics that messed up the flow. For example, let's take the big blue head in Life is Destroyed. These Andros-looking assholes start showing up out of nowhere and kill you instantly if you touch them. They're really difficult to avoid and break the momentum that had been building up to that point. It mixes up the gameplay, but clearly wasn't developed as a core mechanic. The Golden Dragon GP is another place that completely flips what's expected. This Tron-like racing game doesn't ask Travis to bash anyone with his beam katana, but is instead a short series of drag races that must be executed to perfection to continue the story. It's sort of brilliant, but also difficult to pull off just right. The game doesn't teach you how to get good at the racing. Hell, the game even calls itself out at numerous points to show you how not enough time was spent on these sections. And that's the tricky thing. Does Travis Strikes Again have a built-in immunity to criticism? Does calling out the occasionally half-assed nature of these minigames even work? Suda even takes the piss out of his own studio with a level ripped right from Shadows of the Damned, a Grasshopper title from 2011. It's a title that I personally love, but Suda's gone on record saying he was heartbroken while working on the game. And it was rad to see it brought back again right here. Now don't get me wrong, there's plenty of great actual gameplay in Travis Strikes Again. The main combat is real solid and I wish it went even deeper. It's easily the most enjoyable stuff to master in the game. The only collectibles that affect gameplay are the skill chips found throughout the game, and they're fun and each one gives Travis or Badman an awesome new combat move that you want to experiment with right away. But for everything that works, there's something that feels not as thought out. Take level exploration for instance. Each area is pretty linear and exploring off the beaten path can kind of be a crapshoot to see if there's actually anything worth collecting down a side path. I had to replay levels multiple times, which felt repetitive since the level designs are just slightly differently decorated mazes. And the game also overstays its welcome just a teeny bit. The last couple levels in particular feel like just about a third too long, especially because you have to replay them multiple times. The same goes with the text adventure part of the game. It's a really novel idea and it's done well, but by the fourth or fifth time that it comes around, I was a little like, yeah, I get it, death balls, meta commentary, get me to the next game already. But one risk that really pays off is the co-op feature. Yeah, Badman might have shown up intending to kill Travis, but that's waved away when there are wishes on the line. I tried playing this game on my own at first, and yeah, it was fine, I had fun. But diving into two-player mode was significantly more fun. Co-op is the best way to play Travis Strikes Again, hands down. So Travis Strikes Again's gameplay feels strongest when it really fleshes out its core ideas. The other parts are interesting and amazingly designed, but sometimes I felt like I wanted to just play those games instead of whatever style Travis brought with him into those worlds. But even this was okay because there was just enough flavor with each new thing to tease something down the road. Why must you be such a tease, Suda? Suda51's in-your-face style is unmistakable. In Travis Strikes Again, the visuals are as striking as a baseball bat to the knee, but it goes beyond that. This game is extremely meta and fourth wall breaking. It's truly unlike anything you'll play, and that's largely due to Suda51 continuing to preach that subtlety can go jump out the f***ing window.
なあ視聴者のみんなちょっと教えてほしいんだよね。やつは本当に俺のゲームが好きなのか、それともただの変態野郎なのか、俺には判断つかないんだよ。褒められて喜ぶべきなのか、それとも彼の言うことを恐れるべきなのか、俺は全然わかんない。だからみんなライクボタンを押してくれ。そしてガンガンスマッシュしてくれ。頼むぜ。スマッシュ。スマッシュ。ノースマッシュ。
Travis Strikes Again goes all out plot-wise. There are still twists and turns, but character motivations don't exactly simmer beneath the surface. Characters will literally say what they mean right then and there, and if that's not clear enough to you, Travis will straight up tell you that this developer sucks, and that budget cuts cost the game's development to be curtailed, like cutting the voice acting for instance. This stuff is brilliant and what I love from Suda51. It's refreshing to play something that feels so honest. Making a video game is hard, and frankly, it's a miracle that many video games come out at all. Travis Strikes Again constantly jokes about this fact, but what makes it interesting is that there's an edge to the comedy. Like, a running meta joke throughout the game is that if Travis Strikes Again does well, then we'll all get No More Heroes 3. But also, that's a real fact, and that's brave just to call right out. This game puts it all out there because it wants players to explore every inch of it. Even the collectibles are broken down in the summaries of each level, telling the player exactly how much they missed the first time around. It encourages completion and exploration. In the hub area where Travis and Badman hang out between the Death Drive levels, there's an archive of digital video game magazines, and they totally capture the style of old EGM or GamePro magazine. There's even ratings for the games within the games with the factors like worth buying and addictiveness. The best part about the magazines is that they give you cheats to help you complete the game. In each Death Ball game, if you input a code while standing in a specific location, a hidden character will be revealed and give you a reward. And this information is right out in the open for anyone looking. You don't actually get that much, but it's still a fun little nod. The collectibles are giant, out in the open, and not discreet. Some of the stuff you can collect are Unreal tokens, which are spinning blue logos advertising the Unreal Engine. Since a ton of games are made using Unreal, Suda wanted to show them a little extra love. There are skill chips, each one with the name of a different Gundam model, ramen stands run by creepy alien skeletons where Travis can chow down and add entries to the ramen blog back in the hub, and aside from the skill chips, most of the collectibles are just used to purchase t-shirts from the shop, and there are a lot of great references there. Suda has never been one to hide his influences and inspirations. That's on full display in the t-shirt shop. It's full of shirts that feature logos and designs from dozens of different independent developers. It's an awesome way to celebrate these titles. Personally, I loved rocking the Hollow Knight shirt because the design is so sick. Showcasing all these different indies is another way that Travis Strikes Again acts as a love letter to the world of Western indie development. Playing this game, I'm reminded that, hey, not every game needs to be a treatise on fatherhood or the nature of society today. Travis Strikes Again is very on the nose with its themes and love for both big budget games and indie titles, and is buoyed by Suda's infectious attitude. While there are a lot of weird and gross things wrong with Travis Strikes Again, it almost feels purposeful. It's almost like a Tommy Wiseau approach to making a video game. Now going in, I thought this game was going to be short and sweet, like the moves you have to do to charge your beam katana. But after Suda challenged me, I realized that there's a ton to do, and that this sick bastard basically had lulled me into a false sense of security. Completing Travis Strikes Again went from easy peasy lemon squeezy to, oh shit, I've got to focus up since there are so many extras real quick. This game has different difficulty settings, all based off of food naturally. Every time you beat a level, a little sticker shows up saying that you beat that level on that difficulty. So to get every icon, I had to play through every level and beat each boss on every setting, which got a whole lot harder after the first time through. Now I started off on bitter because I thought I was a badass, but it turns out that once I knocked that out, I unlocked the extreme spicy difficulty. So I had to go through the entire game again on this way more difficult mode. Luckily, Suda throws the player a bone here by letting you play this as a New Game Plus mode, keeping your levels, skill chips, and collectibles all throughout. So nice try, Suda. With co-op and all my stuff, I was able to triumph through. Then I remembered about the boss fight rankings. So after you fight each boss, you are ranked on how well you did, based on several different factors like how long it took and how much damage was incurred. I noticed that I had gotten maybe a few A's and S ranks every now and then realized that there was a double S rank. So I swore in Suda's name a bunch more and became a master at each and every boss to get the best rankings. It's easy to find enough money to purchase all the t-shirts in the shop on a normal playthrough. And if you master the battle system enough, you'll be able to level up to the maximum level for both your characters with no issues. Finding all the ramen shops to fill out the blog happens pretty naturally, and it's rewarding because eating a bowl of delicious hearty ramen in a level completely heals Travis and Badman. Plus, I got to learn a little bit about the different types of ramen in the real world, so that's pretty cool. Quick note, as of the making of this video, you may have noticed that when you get all the skill chips in every level, you're actually going to be missing 4 skill chips altogether. This is in fact an error in the game and not on the players themselves. For some weird reason, in Donuts and Coffee and in Serious Moonlight, the game thinks there's 2 more chips than there actually are. So if you're going for full 100% completion, don't you worry. Maybe it'll get patched? I don't know, Suda, the ball's in your court now. So what was the reward for doing every single thing in the game? Well, for a reminder, we had to get double S rank on each boss, clearing the game multiple times for every difficulty level, buying out the t-shirt stores entirely, replaying the levels to find Gene the Cat, and finding all the Unreal and Azteca coins. The results? A couple of kick-ass t-shirts, including some cool Majora's Mask ones, and a Sent to Destroy t-shirt referencing No More Heroes 1, a skill chip that turns you invisible while moving but visible again when you attack, and the introduction of the Suda51 universe. The Sudaverse. It's happening, everyone. Now this makes a ton of sense. It's rad to see the worlds of Killer 7 and No More Heroes be tied together. And it gets me even more amped for No More Heroes 3. Shinobu from No More Heroes 1 and 2 shows up for some banter. And after the credits roll, the game cuts to Travis in a basic ass room with no assets, and then reprimands the player for trying to sneak into development. Instant hype for what's to come. However, at the end of the day, Suda51 is hard at work at the DLC for the game. Rumor has it there is going to be more playable characters as well as extra stages. So technically, we're done for now. But I see you, Suda. I see you. Battling my way through Travis Strikes Again, there were 4 playthroughs, 1 on every difficulty, including the unlockable spicy at the end, 11 deaths, many of which were from those damn blue Andros looking heads, 85 t-shirts unlocked, each one showcasing an awesome video game, including The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and there are even more being added in the upcoming DLC patches. 13 individual ramen blogs read, with no beer provided for the poor reviewer, 7 double S rankings achieved because Suda is a sadist, 22 hours of total playtime, and 1 long, sustained look into the mind of a Suda51, a visionary video game maker with a twisted sense of humor. Playing Travis Strikes Again is even better than walking a mile in Suda's shoes. You'll really get to know the guy.
よくやった、コンプリショニストよ。君は俺が思ってたほどしょうもないやつじゃなかったみたいだね。だけどトラビスとか全米暗殺協会とかそれにふさわしいっていうわけじゃない。そうだな、ジーンの留守番も1日ぐらいだったらいいかもしれないな。とにかく頑張れよ、変態野郎。まあ近いうちにどっかでやるといいね。GDC 行く？もしよかったら GDC で会おうよ。その時にはさ、ひげぐらい剃って。で、ちょっと痩せなよ、お腹やばいぜ、俺もやばいんだけど。俺も痩せるからさ。それとさ、まともな仕事に就きなよ。
But this is my job, Suda.
何マジでそう思ってた？ごめん。またね。
Travis Strikes Again is not No More Heroes 3. If you come in expecting that, you'll probably be disappointed in this game. But if you approach it knowing that this game is a quick and dirty rock and roll love letter to indie games with fantastic art direction and some great tie-ins to growing this Sudaverse, then you'll have an awesome time. It's a little long and occasionally really repetitive, but if you're a fan of the No More Heroes franchise, I think it's a great co-op game to play with a friend. As far as completing the game goes, it's kind of hit and miss. You get all these Azteca coins, you save Gene, you find all the ramen spots, New Game Plus, you get all the shirts. At the end of the day, you don't really get anything that really represents completing the game. And I think what they're doing is they're leaving things open for this DLC that's coming out in the next couple of months. If they do so, maybe it is worth it. But as of now, I don't think so. So, with that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of finish it.
Finish it!
That's all time we have for today, guys, so please, as always, let me know what you thought about today's episode somewhere on the internet. I want to give a big thank you to Michael Kagiwara, who's my friend who helped me translate some of the Japanese stuff, as well as Aaron Cooper over at Grasshopper Manufacturer, and of course, Suda51 for appearing in this episode, who really just said, let's go to every single thing. He said things that I didn't think a developer in my lifetime would ever say. I am very grateful to you, Suda-san. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for watching the show and supporting us. It means so much, and I hope to eat ramen with you very soon in Japan. If you guys like the show, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. I've been Gerard the Completionist, and next week, we're going back to good old Resi 2, baby. I'll see you then. Bye.